17th of July 2023. In this What a Fuck moment, I'm going to talk about the effect and influence that one man can have. I recently met a young man and I was really impressed by the intelligent way that he is looking at himself and life and community in general and the circumstances in general. But during the discussions I came to the conclusion that the guy is struggling with there's a battle in himself. Now, we as human beings, we belong to a tribe, and that tribe has got some cultural rules and habits that is unique to that tribe, and it's been part of that tribe for generations. But then civilization starts interfering with that culture, and it is natural that civilization will change certain cultural habits. Take a simple instance, the killing of an animal to eat. A few generations back, the father of the house would take a sledgehammer and go to the pigsty and put the pig down with a hammer. Or they would tie oxen down to a post and kill it with a knife. But that's brutal. And certain members of that tribe, under civilization influence, decided, hey, there's an easier way. This is a little bit rough. And a new method of killing that cow was implemented. It was less barbaric. And over time, that tribe accepted the new method. But you must never forget, in that tribe will be people that reject this civilized change and they will continue hammering their pigs. So that is how culture and civilization interacts. Look at ourselves. If we just look, how quickly did we move from snail mail to email? How relatively fast we progressed from the day that when you want to send your brother in Cape Town some money, you first go to the post office and you buy a postal order for 100 Rand, and then you put that 100 Rand in an envelope and you mail it down to him, and in 7 days or so he has it in Cape Town, to where we do an EFT, and it's basically instantaneous. The moment that you submit, he's got the money in his bank account ready to go and buy a bread. That is how civilization changes. Some changes is slow, but some changes can be rapidly, basically almost overnight. Just try and think the change that online banking did and how rapidly that took over as becoming the norm. Now, all of these things that changes disturb some people more than others. And this young man was obviously, he was not feeling comfortable with a lot of the things that were part of his tribe's culture. And he changed. He changed himself. He changed himself. And in that process of change, he became a better man seen from a civilization viewpoint. But from a cultural viewpoint, he is viewed as the odd one out now, because his ideas and his interpretation of interaction with the tribe is drastically different from what they have been used to. And in that process of bettering himself, and that is what it is, he bettered himself. Instead of going with the flow, he decided, I'm going to step out and change. I'm going to make adaptations. I'm going to reject old habits. I'm going to be a new man. A man that he believes has got a better future. But in that process, he also isolated himself. And that isolation will trigger depression. And depression is a deadly thing. It's a dangerous thing, and a lot of people, especially men, tend to neglect the real threat of depression. And they battle it out in themselves. And many times they lose that battle. And they take a crutch in some form of chemical to escape from that hellhole in which he finds himself. And that chemical escape is a dead-end street in any case. So you're sitting with a guy that made a lot of changes, and then after he's made the changes, he finds himself isolated. And he looks at the habits of the tribe, and it frustrates him and angers him and makes him depressed, because he cannot make peace with the fact that the tribe members do not see the advantage of changing. Now, I'm going to play you a short video clip to give you an indication of what one man can do. This guy grew up in an environment and in a culture where throwing down garbage is natural. Clean up is not something that they do. And look at what he did. One man did this. This is a long video, but I've only taken out a small clip to show you that one man can make a difference, because he changed his ways and his outlook. And then he had the guts to say, okay, I'm not going to go into a hole of depression. I am going to step out and I will make a difference. Now, that is impressive. And I want to take another example. Paul Kagame from Rwanda. I'm not going to give you the history of Rwanda. We all know what happened there. But there was a morning that Paul Kagame woke up and he was the leader of Uganda. And he stood in his office and looked out of his window over his country, well aware of what the hell happened there, and he had enough intelligence to understand that the psyche of that nation was broken and battered. And how do you repair that? And he did a simple thing. He started a campaign that on a Saturday morning every Rwandan goes out of his house and start cleaning, picking up garbage, picking up rubbish, cleaning out weeds, cleaning the sidewalks, sweeping the sidewalks, cleaning the street gutters, cleaning the place up. And we know the success that he had with that. But that laid the foundation for that nation to change its attitude towards life, because there was a clean slate from which they could operate. This may sound to you almost like a dreamer talking. Yes, and I am a dreamer. And I have got a strong artistic element in my life. And I'm also a serious follower of the value and reality of philosophy. I'm a mind guy, but I'm also a very practical guy. I'm not only a mind guy. And this young man that I'm talking about, and I'm not going to name him, he is on top of everything. He's also a creative artist. And that creativity is something that allows him to express his deepest feelings. And he must never neglect that. He must always practice that. And I happen to know that he is solidly anchored in his faith. I'm not going to talk religion, I'm talking faith. So he has already got two very strong anchors. His faith and his artistic ability. That artistic ability is something that nobody can steal from him. They cannot take it from him. He cannot lose it. Yes, he can neglect it, but he cannot lose it. So that is something that he must cherish. But I understand his frustration. Now, I'm going to give him today one piece of advice. Look at what Paul Kakama did, and look at what this guy did on that Indian beach. One man that had the vision. And I have done a skidmark on self-help and the way I see that the drive of the community to help themselves is actually giving credit to the lazy bastards that is not doing their jobs. But that was a discussion. Let's talk about a practical implementation. So my advice to him is, that community that you see that is so dirty and unorganized, just pick one street. Just one street. One street, one block. Just that one street. And go yourself and pick up rubbish. Now you can go to the Spar, your local Spar. I'm 100% sure one of those dealerships will listen to you and donate a packet of garbage bags. Just take one packet and fill that garbage bags. And if people ask you what you're doing, you tell them what you are doing. And if you see youngsters loitering, ask them if they don't want to help you, just carry the bag. They don't have to pick anything up. Let them just carry the bag and you pick up and put in the bag. And I can almost guarantee you, that guy that's holding the bag for you is going to start picking stuff up as well. And now you're two. And you carry on. That guy started on that beach alone. And today, there's hundreds of youngsters helping him. Those unemployed youngsters in the townships, they desperately need something to give them the satisfaction that they are actually worth something. I did a skidmark on the value of hobbies, and this is very similar to it. If those guys can just start helping you pick up And who knows, in a month's time, when you start in the morning cleaning your section of that street, you'll find there's somebody on the other side of the street doing it. And before you know, there's people on the other block doing it. But it needs one man to start it. One man must start it. Paul Kagame started to clean Rwanda up. And look where is Rwanda today. A GDP growth of 8%. Compare that with South Africa. And the interesting part is that South Africa and Rwanda is on exactly the same timeline. Paul Kagame took control of Rwanda roughly at the same time as the ANC took control of South Africa. Paul Kagame picked up a country that was in the sewer and built it into something. The ANC got a country that was something and they pulled it into the sewer. That is the difference in attitude. So, to the young guy, instead of allowing desperation and depression to overwhelm you, just go out and pick up some garbage. Just go out and pick up some garbage. Doesn't matter whether you're the only guy doing it. You know that you're doing the right thing, but your conduct will inspire someone else to join you. And now I'm going to show you a little slideshow of my community. We have a situation that the main road from our community into town is totally neglected by the provincial administration. They don't do anything, any maintenance on the road anymore. They do nothing. But one man had the vision that it needs to be cleaned up. And he started it. And today there's a lot of people in the community that is helping him. And this slideshow is of what they did this past Saturday. So, my closing message is to you, young guy, go and be that one man that starts a revolution. Please give me a like and subscribe and share the thing. It's important, the sharing. And I want to thank those people that are supporting the channel. I really appreciate that.